Welcome back to Transport Fever 2. I am Railroad Tycoon River, and I am ready to make some improvements besides just that one line that I've been building forever, it feels like. But here we are, and I'm down here at Norfolk, and there's a couple particular reasons. I was looking at our lines, and I really don't like this isn't our, I really don't like the way this balance is done. If you notice, if you looked at this line here, you would think that we were never making any money. And if you come over here and you come to finances, if you look, we make a lot of money at certain periods of time and then almost nothing for other periods of time. And just to me is very deceiving in the way this is done. At the same time, we're not actually probably making any money on this line. But I'm okay with that because, well, the expenses were a little higher there, but call it 500,000 more or less. And then here we only had 1.3. So if you'd notice, depends on when the train comes in, but we're, over the last whatever period of time this is, a year and a half, I guess, we, really kind of have broken even with that train, which I'm okay with because he's providing us oil. But the bottom line is to look at this, you would think you were a big loser. Now, there is one actual big loser if we go by that. Oh, not here, finances. This one. This is the one, this delivery from here to here is just our biggest loser. And I would like to take care of that. And also, the other big thing, the real big thing that I'd like to do is start talking about passengers. Now, Steve had made a suggestion that we build a passenger line from Des Moines down to Garden Grove, and I have no problems with that. But what I would like to do first, just because I think it's a little bit lower hanging fruit, and I may have to pause and let a little time pass between then and now, is to build up a little bit more money so that we can, get all our trains purchased. Because I would like to just see what happens. I know it's not going to be the world's most profitable thing, because we already have a number. You can already see we kind of are getting train stoppages here and there. And why do we have, what? Another suggestion I got, and I'm sorry, I forget who left it exactly, is that these signals are costing us money. Now, the problem with getting rid of those signals is that this train will wait even longer, potentially. So that guy started because of that. So at some point here, I'm not sure that we should be putting so many of those, but it's like the disease of signaling in these train games, and I think I probably needed those signals I was thinking they had to do with this. Sorry, guys. Let's go back to track signal. Yeah, see, I needed that so that they would. So I think I need to do a little bit better job of signaling and improving this as we go forward, if we're going to put passengers on the same lines. So the real things I think I think we can do is upgrade each of the stations as we go. But I'd like to start with Norfolk, with the idea being that we would get rid of this fuel delivery and have the fuel train come right in here. And then right after that, we'll talk about the passengers. How does that sound? So what I would like to do, we can get this guy in to Norfolk here. So let's do that. So we're going to go to buildings, and I don't know. I think I want a terminus station. I don't know which is best. And we're probably going to have to wipe out some stuff. Let's take a look here real quick before we actually build it. And say, where's our cargo? So, our cargo would all be down towards this side for now. So do we have one? Okay, never mind. I thought that might have been green. That was blue. I saw the green and the blue, I guess. I thought, wait a minute, we have one person over there. Now, I heard an interesting comment, which was passengers who travel to other cities travel to shop or go to work, which was interesting. I don't know if that's actually true. But then I was wondering what we would do. Do we want to put this guy maybe over here, I think? We might end up, let's zoom in. So I guess there's no way to really place this or choose which side the track is on. Like, I'd really want this to be like the opposite. I guess we could go in there and replace things. Or do we do a passenger? Or we are doing a passenger. Yeah, I can't really... Yeah, passenger terminus, because if you look at it, I'm not sure how well you guys can see. Let's come out here. Like, I would want the passengers to come off of here, because this is the green, this is the residential section is over here. So what I'm thinking of is we will come right here and do this. And then without further ado, we'll come right in here and configure this guy. And I want to give him a platform, or no, tracks. Right? So we're going to give him another track just so we can have the capability. And then what we're going to do is come here to and give it cargo platforms. Alright, that'll be like our normal train cargo platforms. And then I'm assuming, and this is an assumption, so we have a collision. Yeah, don't build a house there right away, buddy. Yeah, so how about... That's... Look, they built 2 houses there. Yeah, well, but like it's going to cost me 400 grand because they built those houses there. That immediately. Right. Sorry, guys, but yeah, that was rather expensive. So there we go. So I'm assuming that you need this cargo and the thing both attached to the road, or will they bring cargo out of the passenger thing? That should be interesting. And now let's go back to regular. Let's get out of this mode. All right, and then we'll bring some train tracks. All right, and I think we'll come like straight out of the city a little bit. Just in case we ever have like long trains, especially like on the cargo. Now, Norfolk's not a very big city, but here's what I was looking at. This is a little bit of future planning. We have all the way up here McAllen, and McAllen needs sprockets, machines, I guess it is. Now we can make some machines here. We could also produce angle iron or steel here. And then we kind of have the same thing down here where we have sprockets, but we also, interestingly, have some copper looking iron here. and then coal. So we could fire up angle iron / steel making, get that over to here. We also have a wood or lumber producer over here, which looks like pound cake, right? And we could bring that into here one way or the other if we had a train line that went along this way. So from up here, say we could take the sprockets up to there. We also have more coal we could bring back. We have this. We could also, so we have sort of this line that we could turn into a producer of sprockets / machines that we could also use in Garden Grove. So now I don't think that does us too much good if we have a train line coming this way, but just keep that in mind as I build this. I'm thinking, we would have a train line here. Now I was looking, this is sort of a bit of a mountain. Let's see, we could turn on this for a second. So if you look over here, so I'd like to kind of wrap around that, which kind of all fits into what I would like to do. But so that's one of the reasons I decided to build this train station the way I did, is because down the road, maybe not so, we won't get to it this episode, maybe we'll get to it soon. All right, so why don't we leave that contour on, and then we'll come here, we'll just wrap this guy around something like this. All right, that'll be kind of tight pulling in there, but then let's see, I'll try to, I wasn't having the right angle, right? So I want to kind of get that guy to go towards here, but where we would bypass this hill for the most part. Which, don't do that. Yeah, I want to be far enough away that we can have a nice... It's hard to see with all this white. I'm not sure who thought that was the greatest idea in the world, but... All right, so now we'll have... want to keep those speeds up a little high. I know we don't need them too much for... All right, now did you actually attach? No. No, you didn't. I should have checked. Not to destroy our actual train tracks. Let's try that again. So I'll want you... You know what, we're going to have to go check this again. You were the right or left hand... Where am I at? All the way over here, geez. Okay, yeah, you were the... You were the come this way track. You were the right hand track at that point. Which is really... Yeah, I think I don't even really need that one at the moment. This is the one. What are we doing? All right, so we're gonna come up here and all right, the reason I say that is because what I want is we're going to be bringing fuel in. We're going to have this track coming across this way, I guess. All right, so we'll have tracks coming out of here. So at some point, without making this too expensive, but not making them go too much extra distance, I want, probably after this road here, right? No. I want him to be able to come in here. Actually, this one I think I want to go both ways. So this one will go to there. Right? I really need to start checking that closer. And this white makes it, I don't know, maybe it doesn't make it harder, but it feels like it does. Right, yeah, that'll be fine. We'll check. We'll check before. I did carpentry at times in my life, and check twice, cut once. There we go. So that what that'll allow us to do is get passengers in over here. Now we're gonna have to have crisscross so that they can get in or out either way. Let's make it to a little bit. All right, because some of them will be coming in here for cargo, other ones will be coming in for passengers. So that will get us a passenger cargo station there, which means that we can get passengers to each of these other stations. But right now, what we can do is make a little bit of a change. Let's see, let's manage the lines here. And we want to go to Norfolk Oil. So what Norfolk Oil is doing is taking oil from here all the way up to Rochester Fuel and then coming back and dropping off the fuel here. So what I would like to do is add a station. And if you guys haven't played the game much, you know you need to make sure you click on the right side of things. All right. So that now what they're going to do is come in here, drop off the fuel. Let's even do that. Load nothing. Unload fuel. And then when it comes to here, they're going to load up the fuel. Unload the, sorry. When they're at Rochester Fuel, which is one I just clicked on, this second one, they're going to load fuel, unload the oil, right? So now what that means is that we don't need this Rochester fuel. Now, I also looked before the episode started at our rates. Let's come over to here. The crude, Norfolk crude, is profitable enough. We probably have an extra truck on here as it is. And that was a suggestion that was made as well is that we only really need like 166. And of course, I don't have my comments up at this moment to give credit where it's due, but the point is we could probably even take another truck off of this. Now, I'm not going to do that just because, you know, it's kind of profitable as it is, and I just as soon have a little bit extra there. But we could take an extra truck off. But what I do want to do is manage the vehicles and get rid of Norfolk fuel delivery now, which is one of our least profitable or not profitable things. So what we're going to do is sell all the selected vehicles, right? And then we'll come over to line manager, and we're just going to get rid of Norfolk fuel delivery altogether. So this depot would still, you know, work for that. Now, the other question, let's get out of that mode and look here. Yeah, say this, we really don't even need this depot at this point. So we should probably get rid of that just because it's just really not doing us any good, right? Our station can deliver to everything here, and if the city does expand, it's not like we can. Yeah. Right, so that'll cut down on our costs at that point. But yeah, just to go back, make sure we're not on the delete tool. But there you go. See, we can supply everything. Really, this is a great station in the middle of the city. That'll be a good thing for us. So there we go. So now we can, you know, hopefully this will work out and just make us a little bit more profitable each go around, right? Now, that will increase. One last thing we just want to look at before we move on to the next topic is it will increase our frequency here, right? So now it's 27 minutes, which means we're only supplying 38. So we probably should consider, you know, rebalancing that. But let's see what happens, and let's go up here and talk about passengers. Now, I don't think we have so many trains on this line that it's going to be a massive problem. But what I would like to do is get modify Rochester here and Des Moines so that we have the possibility of putting passengers on here. And it seems like, yeah, see, this is where the question that I had earlier comes in, but I guess we could just build a little road up to here. You know, this time I'm going to pause it a little bit because it was annoying that it cost us $400,000 to build another thing. Like once we had destroyed that one house, they built houses there so fast that it cost us $400,000. So let's just pause it for 1 second. And then, yeah, platforms, passenger platform. Right. Yep. And then passenger buildings. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm not sure what the benefit is to the bigger building versus the little building. Decorative. Yeah, I mean, I guess we just go with the small main building, right? I don't see any reason why we wouldn't. Does that... Unfortunately, it makes us destroy a bunch of our stuff. Now, did it get attached to the road, right? Does it? Again, this white is just killing me. It doesn't look like it attached to the road. Or does it go through here? See, that doesn't look attached, but it looks like it's all attached here. Is that what all this means? So as long as this is attached, they'll get out in and out this way. Well, let's do that as a little experiment, but do you see what I mean? Like it doesn't look like it has road access there. Let's configure one last time and see. Platforms. Yeah, I thought there was I guess the road access is the building. Yeah, I don't see how we would force that to attach. Right. Other than to build a little tiny piece of road there. So let's see what happens with that. All right, that's enough pausing. All right, let's get out of that mode. And then we need to get our tracks attached here. So I'm thinking we should just bring... No. Right, and I think because it was working so far, hopefully we can crisscross back here, right? I've got to keep in mind long trains. Yeah, so I had a feeling you were gonna. Yeah, you just don't like that, do you? Doesn't it? It makes sense that it doesn't like being on the thing. Can we do it? Oh, you know what? Let's get rid of that signal. Will that matter? Yep, that mattered. Alright, so now they can pick either side. And I guess we should have a couple signals. Bulldoze this one first. There we go. So now what I'd like to do is get at least a passenger train. Yeah, yeah, I guess this is fine. So we'll come into here and we'll buy a vehicle, and then, you know, we could go with a 10-wheeler, 100 kilometers an hour, but the problem that I have with that is that these are all limited to 50. So it seems like we would be constantly fighting that. In addition, you know, this guy's fairly expensive per year, and he's not going to get us like 10 tons of benefit. Let's see, what did the year on this? 1922. So I mean, do we just stick with the Baldwin because it would be a little bit friendlier, even though it'll be a little bit slower, and then we're cars on there? I don't have any idea really how many passenger cars we should put on these. So let's just start out slow. How does that sound? Because then we're a little bit likely to make some money. So if we were to buy a Baldwin with, I mean, 64 capacity, is that too much? I would think so. Maybe we... Yeah, and by the way, these cars are not necessarily cheap on this hard mode. So you definitely want to sort of keep your cars to the right sort of quantity. So now, do we do two of these would be the other question. Let's just get one going, all right? And that's going to cost us that much money, 3.2 million, and we don't have a line for it yet. Okay, well, now it's costing us money. Let's get a line going. Line manager, new line. Oops, did you not? Oh, now you do it twice. Okay. Norfolk halt up to... Now, I'm fully aware that this may not be the most efficient thing because we're you know, going to be running into cargo trains, but it's still better than nothing, right? I mean, and we don't have to pay for any more lines other than the improvements we had to make to the train stations, and I think they were pretty slight. So there we go. So Norfolk halt to that. No waiting. Yeah, I think we would just load passengers, which would make sense. Again, I like to do this not because I have to, but just so that if I come back and look at the train, I know exactly what I intended, especially as we get more and more complicated. Okay, so let's just see what happens. Let's get on with it. And our vehicle, line one. Yeah, get out there and start making us some money. So I'm thinking we might end up with 2 trains on that line, but let's just see what the demand is once we get it in full swing. All right, so line manager. Yeah, I want to change that to, I'm going to start all the passenger trains with pass. And then north, and then whatever the cities are. Keep that close. Chester. All right, so all of those should show up in the same category. Now, the other thing we can do probably is come over here to Des Moines and do about the same thing we've been doing. So let's configure that. Now we already have the 2 tracks, which was sort of a waste at a certain point. Oh yeah, look at that. They squeezed that house or whatever it is, industry right in on top of us, right? All right, so now what we want to do is platforms, passenger platform, right? Oh, wait. What is going on here? Yeah, why can't we build... All right, let's go get out of this mode real quick. I want to build a track past here. All right, and then yeah, this will be a little bit of a mess. And let's get rid of this signal. Here. What? Now this is where we had the mega long train. So can you actually? Yeah. Kind of a long crossing, but yeah, you know what? That's really too far. Changing of the mind. We're gonna go. The last time I looked, the trains didn't come past here, which we couldn't really build that on there anyway, as far as where they stuck out. So they might get longer, but I think if we just did it here, we're saving quite a bit of. Yeah, let's go like from here. Oh, stop that. What are you doing? All right. There you go. All right, so let's put a signal in there and there. Yeah, now why can't we put... Why can't we put a passenger platform? Let's... What is going on that this is all whited out? Oh, this is regular track. Ah, why did I... Never mind. I see. Oh, you're gonna make me do that? Kind of crazy little deleting thing going on there, isn't it? Okay, so that's fine. We'll get rid of all that now. Okay. There we go. So we want actual... Yeah, so that's... I guess these tracks are a lot more expensive, aren't they? So there's a reason for doing it that way, but I just want to get out of here a minute. Let's complete this, just in case we have someone who wants to come this way. Construction not possible. There we go. Yeah, see that little section was like 2,000, where this was like 18,000. Now we can come in here and configure again. Platforms, passenger. Yeah, I don't know if we need all of these, but we might as well make it kind of even. And again, if you guys know, I mean, we could do a bigger building and it will attach with no need for a... Alright, so let's get out of that, and then... So this one, I think we're going to need to get people to the different parts of town. But let's start out right away with getting, since we're playing time forward, we'll start out right away with getting some more trains going. All right, so now we have passenger station. And I want you to go from passengers here over to passengers here. And we'll call that pass. Oh, I did get a suggestion to do the colored, to do the mod with a lot of colors, but if you put that mod on, you can't get any achievements. Not that I usually worry about achievements that much, but I kind of would like to be able to get them. And it's not, I mean, I'm not sure that I really need the different colors that much. Okay, so past Des Rochester. There we go. So yeah, so as far as the colors go, it would be nice, and I was just thinking about that because maybe we start making, we'll take our passengers and start making them greenish, and then let's do another new line from, yeah, so that was Rochester there. Now let's do it from Des Moines over to Norfolk. Yes, and that's, you know what, I was kind of expecting that issue. All right, so what I would like to do now is, let's put a little more track on here. I'm going to ignore that thing flashing up at me for a second. I would like to be able to come out of here and have him go right to Des Moines, since that was the first. No, you don't like that. Go. Well, you won't touch any. Okay, so you can't attach. There, will you go? How about here? Yeah, you gotta do something really goofy and strange, don't you? So that's as close as you can get, and you're not gonna be able to. Oh, you can make that turn. All right, you're both attached. Good. All right, so now if we were to purchase a train here, we can, oh, what happened? Line one. Okay, this is going to be, let's just go, let's take care of one thing at a time. Pass, yeah, so we want this. We don't, vehicle manager, come on, buy vehicle. And we'll just do the same thing for now. You guys may be screaming at me, that's not the best thing. But again, I don't want such a fast train that it's going to outpower all the others. And then we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll just have to save if this isn't becoming profitable. Now, this is, why is this one so much more? I don't know. We're going to buy it for $4 million. We're running out of money here. Right. So there we go. So let's put this one on. Yep. So hopefully that'll start making us a couple bucks. See a train coming out of there right away. Oh, there goes our oil train right off the bat. Past them. Just to slow them down. Yeah, so this other stop can't make it, and it's because of this. And I'm thinking what we can do is wrap right around this hill right here. Do we want to join up with this? Yeah, we would want this to kind of be a two-way, so why don't we, and this one's already one way this way. Yeah, if we came off of there, that'd be, I'm wondering if we can come off of this way with a bit of a goofiness. Good. We got back up to 6 million that quick. Our money goes up and down quite a bit these days. In other words, if we came over to here, all right, and then just sort of immediately took this one, keep the speed up. Does that miss that? Yeah. It's not quite what I'd like. I want it to be a little bit closer to that. Yeah, see how we get 100 miles an hour there? All right, and then we would take... No, you don't like that? Okay, I'll take you right there. A little bit slower on the inner track, right? So this way... take you to there. Let's see, what's the best way? Spin around. I think that'll be better. All right, we'll just sort of turn our hill tool on. Yeah, if we kind of come right from here. Turn right around that hill. Cut into it a little bit. You not attach. All right, now you're attached. Of course, that's all costing us lots of money. The game is not, if I compare it to workers and resources, I guess you have this debate is like, how far and much do you snap, right? Because you could definitely get snap happy in a sense. All right, so let's take a look at this last line before I worry about snap happy. So this last line is going to be Des Norfolk. So pass Desum. Oops, let's do a capital M. Desum Norfolk. All right, and then do we have enough money? Yes, we should. And we'll do the same thing. Yeah, buy vehicles. Just because we'll be uncreative. Oh, look at this. We have a 6-axle passenger car. Yeah, you know what? We should have bought those. Well, let's get 3 of these because that'll be a capacity of 60. Now, yeah, that's certainly not worth the upgrade. But pretty soon the one won't be available to us anyway. So we're going to buy that for $5 million. And then set that to pass Desum Norfolk. And then let's do a little color change. Go with pale green. All right, so at this point, all of those lines are going to be greenish. All right, so how are we doing? Are we making any money on our new passenger routes? Well, I think it's a little bit early to tell. We're running out of time for our normal episode length. Well, that one probably wouldn't have anything. Let's at least pick one that's been running for 10 minutes. No passengers. Well, we have 46 passengers on this one. Did you actually? Yeah, look at it. It brought in a tiny bit. Let's see. Would you 172 versus running cost of 18K? But that's the current quarter. So there we go. So at least we got Norfolk. We got all of these capable of passengers, which again, I haven't forgotten getting down to Garden Grove, but I figured this would be a good first step, right? Like, because it even though I know it's not going to be the best passenger lines ever, as long as we can make some money on them, I'll be okay. So, just like, I don't know if you guys are as old as I am, you may have watched Batman, and it was like, tune in next week. Like, they always left you with a cliffhanger. So I guess that's a broadcasting trick, right? So I guess you got to tune in next week at the same Rever time and the same Rever place, the same Rever channel. Anyway, I'm going to be quiet. Just wish you guys a wonderful couple days until we play Transport Fever 2 again. Thank you guys in the past for all your comments and subscriptions and likes. I definitely appreciate all the support that I've gotten and the attention that this Transport Fever has brought to the channel. And let me know if you have any questions and comments, and we'll come back in the next episode and we'll see how our profits are doing. At this point, we don't have a ton of money, so I need to play a little bit of time forward anyway. All right, thanks again, guys. Have a wonderful day. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.